Today I'm going to take you through the colours and steps used to build character and life into this dog's eye. I'm drawing on watercolour paper. This is a shortened version of a tutorial over on my Patreon channel where we're drawing this beagle from start to finish. Before we start, if you are new to my channel, please remember to hit that subscribe button before you leave, turn on the notifications and remember to click on that like button if you enjoy the video. All of these steps are a huge help and a great way to support my channel and these tutorials. Okay, let's grab the pencils and let's get started. I've got the line drawing down on the paper, and with a dark sepia pencil, I'm going to just start to go around this outline. So looking at the reference photograph, taking my time, really light pressure, almost with little sort of dashes rather than a solid line. I want to do little dashes just as if I was sketching it really. The next thing I want to do is in this middle bit here. So I'm going to leave the white of the eye, even though it's not white. I'm going to leave the white of the eye, and what I'm going to do is go with a warm grey 1 and small circular strokes, not pressing on hard. I want to press on really lightly, come around. We've got this little catch light in the middle here, and I want to leave that. I want to preserve that, so I don't want to go over that, but I can go over the rest of it with this warm grey 1. And then I'm going to plot in this pupil. I'm taking a dark indigo, because even though that's black, this pupil, I can definitely still see a blue tone to it, and I can actually see some green in there as well. So I'm going to pop a bit of green in, but I'm just going to get this dark indigo in under this catch light. So I want to leave that catch light, I want to leave that as raw paper for the minute. Just on this side of the pupil, I'm just going to go in with a coal grey. It's actually a coal grey 4. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of coal grey, just coming down this side of the pupil. Really, really light pressure and still leaving that white bit. And then what I'd like to do is to go around underneath this pupil that we've just put in with a burnt ochre, all from the Polychromos, all really sharp pencils and all light pressure. So I'm going to go up the side of this catch light, bring it around, go up the other side of that grey that we've just put in. Take that around up there as well. Really light pressure. It's going over the top of this warm grey 1. I'm going to go around this area then underneath here with a little bit of the India red. Tiny little bit. Again, still circular strokes. And because I can see a little bit of green in this eye, I'm also just going to drag out from this pupil just a little bit of this olive green yellowish. Drag this out and just put a little bit of green into this pupil. I want to come round the edge of this eye round here, just on the edge, and start to come in with a little bit of the walnut brown. I'm going to make this a little bit darker in a bit, but I just want to get a bit of the walnut brown. So I'm just coming around the edge round here. Little tiny circular strokes, dark around this side. Keeping the pencil a little bit more concentrated towards the out of the eye, towards the outer edge, and then just blending it a little bit, sort of letting it feather out a little bit as it gets into the middle. So I'm not putting pressure on anywhere really, but I am putting slightly more pressure on the edge and then sort of really releasing that pressure to virtually nothing. I'm going to come into this little catch light, this little reflection. I'm just going to go in with a coal grey 1 because obviously it's not light. It's quite obvious it's a reflection. Actually, there's a lot of sky reflecting in there. But I'm going to go in with a coal grey 1 first. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the light ultramarine or the sky blue, whatever you have. A little bit of the ultramarine in here. Not too much, just a little bit. A little bit in there. And then I'm going to come into this pupil with the black. Little circular strokes. Bring this black over this, this dark indigo that we've already put down. I'm also just going to shape that a little bit. There is a darker mark in there. I'm just going to put a suggestion of that mark in there. And drag that pupil, drag it out that way. I'm going to go into this bit underneath around here with Payne's Grey over the top of this walnut. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Payne's Grey. Again, just go over that walnut. It's going to create more of a dark sepia colour, but with slightly more warmth than the dark sepia would have. Just neatening that up on the bottom. I'm back in with the dark sepia, and there is a dark bit right on top of this, this eye up here over this, this little catchlight. So I'm just going to pop that in, going to bring that dark sepia off there. And then I'm going to take a nice sharp white polychromos. First of all, I'm going to go into this catchlight and just blend this out a little bit. Blend along that catchlight with that white. Blend down this side where we put that grey in as well. Just blend down there. And then take an ivory and with tiny little circular strokes, blend out over this green and over this sort of browny red colour on the bottom. And blend down that. I don't want to press on really hard. I just want to bring these colours together. So I just want to go up into that black and blue pupil a little bit and just blend those together. And then I'm going to go back in with that black. And drag that out. Let's go back with that brown ochre as well on this side. And also just drag out a little bit of the burnt sienna on the top. So just dragging out from this pupil. Dragging out, and also round this side where it's just a little bit more intense around here. And I'm going back in with this dark indigo. And then just putting that little bit in that corner, that green in that corner. And a bit of green here actually. This bit underneath this eye, which is, it's obviously the white of the eye, but it's not white. I want to go into this bit with a cold grey one all the way around here underneath this eye. I'm going to go into this bit as well, actually, right in this corner. In this little bit that comes down here on this side, we've actually got a little bit of pink showing through. So I'm going in with the coral and I'm just putting a touch of the pink in this corner. And then I just want to go in with a cold grey 6, a nice sharp cold grey 6, coming round the side of this eye, because there's just that, a little bit of white round the side of that eye, coming underneath. This is definitely a little bit bluer on this side, so I'm just going to put a tiny touch of that ultramarine in there, just a touch, that's all we need, just a touch in there. Back to this cold grey 6, just in the corner. And then again, I'm going to go in with the white polychromos. So not to make it white, but you can see that it's just blending out that blue that's in there, smoothing it out. And also we're going to smooth out the pink on this side. So just to blend it out, smooth it. Put the white round there. and just bring that together a little bit more, just blend it. I just want to blend the side of that pupil as well actually, so I'm using the white polychromos to do that. I'm using the warm grey one. I'm going to start to take this pencil, so from the edge of the eye, and I'm sort of coming out, so I'm coming around the direction of the eye, so we're coming out this way and then coming around and over the direction of this eye, and then it gets to this point and it actually starts to come down here. So I'm just using this, I'm using this base layer, I'm using this warm grey one to start to plot the direction that this fur is coming off and away from the eye. I want to go in with the dark sepia, and I just want to ever so slightly darken down this line. I don't want it to become too heavy. I just want to darken down that line a little bit, and also this bit over the top. I'm going to come in with the burnt ochre from the polychromos, and I'm going to take, just in the same direction that we've just gone with the warm grey one, I'm going to bring this pencil off and around this eye. I'm going to come around here. Now, even though this is grey around this eye, I can still see little bits of this brown coming through, so I'm just going to put a little bit around here. I want to come off the side of this eye again now, just going over this burnt ochre that we've just put in, and I'm moving to a luminance pencil. I'm moving to the sepia 50%. So I'm coming off the side of this eye, so I'm going to start around this side. This eye comes off, there's sort of like a darker line down there. I'm just going to plot that in, and I want to come down here and then up and over the top of this eye. Letting some of this burnt ochre come through in places. And then it comes off and over and starts to come down. So once it gets to the top here, the texture sort of starts to almost sort of come down the side of this eye, the direction rather, not the texture. So I'm going to come down this side of the eye. And then again, I'm going to come out underneath, so this comes out the middle here. And again comes back this way. So I'm just bringing all my little pencil strokes out from the edge of the eye. So I can keep all the little blunt parts of the pencil stroke on the edge of the eye, and then get the wispy bits out into the rest of the face. I want to go back onto the edge of this eye, and I'm using a warm grey 6. And once again, I'm just taking the pencil off the edge of this eye. As it's closer to the eye, you can see that it's a lot sort of more intense, a lot darker, a lot deeper in terms of colour. So I'm just sort of getting the flow of the pencil going on the edge of this eye, and then letting it come around and shape the top of this eye a little bit. I've got quite a sharp pencil because it's not a huge area, and I will keep sort of turning my pencil every now and again to pick up the sharper side, but I'm just using little marks to diffuse. We had quite a harsh line there, didn't we? And now you can see I'm starting to diffuse it. I want to diffuse that line. There's usually, the way that eyes tend to go, you've got more of a diffused line at the top and more of a, no, it's not a really solid line, but it's more of a sort of pronounced line at the bottom. And yet you've always got quite a diffused line at the top because you've got all those eyelashes and all those shadows coming off the eyelids. So I'm just coming around the edge of this eye, feathering it out so that I've got more of an intense bit of colour at the edge of the eye, and then it feathers out, bringing down the side of this corner of this eye here, and keep that little bit of definition in the corner there. And it's starting to, at the corner, it sort of curls over because obviously it's coming, the eye, the fur's coming over away from the eye, and it's going to come down the cheek. So we're starting to produce this curve. And then feather the bottom of this. Feather the bottom of this eye out, and I've just seen a slightly darker bit there, so I'm just going in with a little round stroke there to just put that little bit of dark in. Down there. And then back to feathering this out. I'm just going to go along the bottom of this eye with the little circular motion again to just break it up, to just diffuse it a little bit. But I don't want this bottom bit to become as diffused as that top bit. So I'm keeping a much smaller line there. Just going around the outside, keeping that dark bit. There we go. Not pressing on hard, just going over and over this area to build up that intensity if that's what I want. I don't want to go pressing on hard. This is quite dark up here, so around the side of this catch light that we've put that catch light in. It's really dark, so I'm going to bring that warm grey down the side of that eye, and this comes all the way over to this catch light. And also with a nice sharp pencil, I'm just going to bring some little marks. Again, these are just the reflections of the eyelashes, so I want to just very carefully bring some little marks off that eye, curving around, obviously around the eyeball, and that's going to just represent some eyelash shadows. As I'm working on this eye now, I can see that this white area is far too light, so I'm going in with a cold grey 4. It's not anywhere near that white. Going in with a cold grey 4, I'm just going to take that down a little bit. And also just in the corner, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the burnt sienna 10% to just add that little bit of pink in that corner there. I've gone to the luminance because it's a nice thick creamy pencil, and it's going to sit on top of those colours that I've already put in. So it's just putting that tiny little bit of pink in there. I'm just going to shape the bottom of this eye just a little bit. It's just got a little bit of shape down there. That's better. Put that bit of blue in there. Just a little bit in that corner. And it's when you start to get everything else into context that you see that, you know, I could see then, once I'd got this surrounding, I could see that that bit was far too white. That it wasn't that white at all. There we go. And here's the finished drawing. If you'd like to follow the complete project, you can find this one along with many other step-by-step tutorials over on my Patreon channel. Each tutorial is broken down into manageable parts. You'll also find a note of the pencil used on screen at each stage. The videos are also accompanied by a line drawing, a reference photograph, and a full list of the materials and supplies used. Or if you prefer, why not check out this free step-by-step tutorial here on YouTube, where I'll show you how to draw this Jack Russell dog from start to finish. Okay, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you've already hit the like button and subscribed, thank you. If you haven't done that yet, remember to do that now if you found this tutorial useful and if you want to see more. I post new videos every week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.